last week, the Prey first hour demo went up on PS4, Xbox One, PC. I believe all 3 platforms.
No, not PC.
No, not PC.
Okay, PS4,
Right.
Xbox One.
That's a point of controversy for a lot of people, actually.
Right. Maybe that's why was there any discussion why they didn't do that?
No, but I forget the developer's name.
Arcane?
No, like the individual.
Oh.
Individual
the
developer.
person. The
Yes,
person.
a person, a developer. Someone was asking about, is there a PC port? And the guy said no, because we're developing the game natively on PC. Well, no shit. You're not developing the game like using a PlayStation 4. But the Dishonored 2 PC release had a lot of problems, right? And so they released the demos. They didn't release a demo for PC, and now everyone is kind of like, well, what are we to believe, right?
Interesting. Okay.
It's weird. Yeah, I wonder if they're just like really playing it safe or something as far as like their launch. I don't know.
You'd think they'd get it out there so people could test it and actually report, like, my rig doesn't work on this. Oh, we didn't test that rig. We didn't know that those variables might be an issue. I mean, if anything, this would behoove them to do this now so they don't have customers upset when they get the thing that they've paid $60 for.
Was that Raf Colantonio by chance saying that on Twitter?
You love to say his name.
Great name.
It is a great name. No, I don't think it was him. It might have been, though.
Okay. But the first hour demo was out for PS4, Xbox One last week. A few of us got the chance to play it. Rob, you played this a couple times now between the demo and like doing this as a preview event back in the day.
Sure, yeah.
And people around the office are excited, including myself, just because, I like Arcane stuff. I love Dishonored 2. I love that, like everybody's calling it a spiritual successor to BioShock, System Shock. I'm really excited for that kind of game, those immersive sims. So I'm excited for this, but I kind of wanted to get people's take that have tried it out around the office. Rob, I think you have the most experience with it. What's your, are you excited based on what you played?
I am. I'm excited to see where that game gets to because, they've definitely created something where there is a replayability factor. Like there's experimentation. Like you see these videos, I think Tamor was you can morph, as the game progresses, you can morph into like any kind of object. Like the aliens you see, the mimics that crawl. So I think Tamora was messing around with like just a toilet paper, launching himself and rolling around.
Sounds like him.
And just, yeah, it does sound like him. And, you can disguise yourself. You can then cheat the system. And I think Aaron was telling me something really interesting where they, in the demo, they actually lock it off as far as like when you get to that first open area room where there's a series of different ways where you can kind of, choose your own path. Apparently people like found it's like a crossbow Nerf gun that, to my understanding, just shoots darts. However, there is an area where you're not supposed to get through, yet the purpose of this gun is actually to shoot darts through cracks and hit the switch from inside the room and open it up. And so people were actually able to already like, not exploit, but like experiment again, like and like found a way to like actually get a little further than anyone else. So I'm really interested to see the late game, but the beginning hour is so far has been really good. I think I was thinking about today actually, like I'm sure people have seen it, like the first hour actually has 15 minutes of the demo is like kind of a big spoiler as far as a twist in the story. And
is it a spoiler if it's 15 minutes in?
If we don't know it already.
It's just one of those cases where it's...
I mean,
it's a spoiler.
You wouldn't want to tell somebody before they play.
Absolutely, because you want that to happen, naturally.
Yeah.
They've had a tough job marketing this because, some people think it's, a lot of people thought it was Prey 2 rather than a reboot that Arcane took over. Because Dishonored was more of a thief kind of style game, spiritual successor, and this they've been marketing as BioShock, System Shock. But they also don't want to show people too much about this game, but then when they do, it's kind of, like... lose-lose situation. But I do agree that I wish maybe they had prepped a demo that started after that kind of thing started. But it's a tough spoiler. I don't want to talk about it, but if you've watched coverage at all on this game, you know where things go eventually, but it would be cool to experience the kind of, Portal 2 vibes you get right at the beginning for the first time.
Sure, yeah. It's hard to say anything just because in this demo, you're just not... to my understanding, you're not given what this game actually like gets to or amounts to, where you're taking alien parts and making ammo out of it. You just barely, it feels like you barely get to where the meat of this game is, but it's still a pretty cool experience. Like I actually am a huge fan of these mimics here that you're killing. Like just walking into a room and feeling so uneasy because because 3 of them have formed a vase pot radio setup, and you just don't know. And next thing you know, there's a lot of jump scares, and I feel like you are uneasy just because of the fact that anything in the room can be one of these guys to jump out at you.
You see the glue gun here. We saw the wrench. We've seen the shotgun. The shotgun looks very much like the BioShock shotgun. You mentioned that crossbow. Sorry, glue cannon, not glue gun. But I have a question from GameSpot, regular Goop Shoe Riot. He says, will skills be open to unlock from start, or will there be a progression system?
Yeah, like that's the thing too.
The eye needle.
The eye needle. Your
that freaks me out so much.
neuromods. So
yeah.
you're shoving a needle in your eye every time you want to upgrade, which is sick.
To like compare it to something else, it's like tonics from BioShock Infinite, plasmids from BioShock 1.
Right. I'm pretty sure, as far as what I've seen, is you have like 3 general abilities, like things like hacking and security, that are more specific to the environment and how you can get farther as far as opening doors and et cetera. And then the other, I think there's 3 or maybe more of just the alien powers that you eventually like research or scan or whatever you want to call it, and then you become or you absorb their power. So the mimicking, right? You absorb the mimic power to
roll around as a coffee mug.
Do whatever you want. Yeah, in order to get through that little slit on like a bank teller window or. So there they go.
Oh
right
my
there.
God! Oh, they're so freaky.
They're really
So
they're
cute.
kind of cute. I actually think they're kind of cute too. Like if you see one, sometimes he'll like wave at you, and then he'll just like run away.
We're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Probably flipping you the bird though, and you just don't know because they have a wisp of smoke for an arm, not actual fingers.
Sure.
Pete, Callie, what about you two? Are you guys excited from what you've seen of the demo, or just what you've seen from what little pre-coverage they've had?
I still am waiting to play when the game is actually released. I didn't really want to get started and then have to stop because your save doesn't.
Same.
I thought it was going to at first, but then everyone told me no. So
the
I've
save
avoided
doesn't
it.
transfer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's the other part for me too. Is that even if the save was you were able to transfer your PS4 save over to the final game, I still wouldn't play it because I want to play on a PC. I heard there were some problems with the controls as far as like kind of clunkiness or whatever you want to call it, which apparently I think they spoke out and said that they are aware of it and will address it. But regardless, like just like Dishonored, I really want to play this with a mouse and keyboard. It's very, especially with these frantic moments with like a wrench, which also isn't like always at the ready as a melee. It kind of just like I feel like BioShock, right? You had to switch to that weapon, so you're not. I don't know. You want to have that like really quick ability to defend yourself.
Yeah, I'm just to get back to the idea of like, am I looking forward to this? Like, when I watch this footage, I really don't know what is interesting about this. It's really, really tough. But everyone who's played the game has said so many great things about it that I'm almost just more curious than I am excited.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult thing to watch being played because a lot of it is the atmosphere. Like I think it has this like spooky, like there's a lot of tension, right? Like you don't know if you're going into a room if the mimics are disguising themselves as something. I think that's more interesting to me than just watching it played. Like I'm even watching this now. I'm kind of like, this is not what I would be doing, and
Yeah.
this
is weird gameplay.
And it's that part, like it's just not the kind of game I would want to watch. Like I wouldn't want to watch somebody else play Dishonored either. That might be just me. But I think more of it is about the atmosphere, and I'm definitely intrigued by that. Like that's the kind of thing I do really enjoy.
It's interesting you said Dishonored, because when I think of Dishonored, the series in general, like you want to see people, maybe streamers who are extremely good, right? Who are doing like impressive
reels.
Highlights or speed runs. This is a game I feel like could have that ability, because I think you've seen or heard like you get abilities later on where it's like kinetic blast and the mimicking ability. So they're allowing you to shape shift into a mug and then launch yourself up onto a ledge 2 floors up in order to like get that jump. So I think they're possibly catering to that, but again, like that's just like so later on. Like I haven't really seen enough of that, and this is just this hour. Just seems just to
play devil's advocate. I like that they haven't shown much. I mean, I think in a world where movie trailers show off everything, and it's different with games, but
But usually there's like a promise with a movie trailer, right? Like even if it doesn't show everything, like you kind of like I don't really know what I'm going to get out of this game other than I can turn myself into things, and once in a while I'll find something that's an alien.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess I'm in an experiment. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the tone of all of that. I guess that's what I was getting at is like this demo establishes tone more than anything else to me. So that's the part that gets me like interested in it.
Structurally, I'm curious.
Oh my god, this freaks me out so bad.
Bottoms up.
Structurally, as the game is more of one big mission rather than these discrete ones in Dishonored, I'm curious to see how that'll play out because I'm sure like we'll be doing things in different order and whatnot. The people playing it, but yeah, I'm excited to see highlight reels and whatnot. I'll see how it actually shapes up once it releases. It seems like the kind of game that I want to just play at my own pace. And I'm hoping it facilitates that, but I guess it remains to be seen. This game releases Friday. And because it's a Bethesda game, because of that policy, we don't even have codes yet, so we might have them pretty much at release, but our review won't be up right at release. Tomorrow in the UK is going to be working on that.
Let me speak to this a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting code tomorrow, as will anyone who can access like the Australian network accounts because they're 17 hours ahead of us in the future. So we will have a review in progress ready before the weekend. So you won't have to wait too long if you're on the fence to hear some opinion, but it will be based on the first half dozen hours of the game, something like that.
I think they've said the game is 16 to 20 hours long.
Tomorrow I was thinking like 40.
Oh god.
I thought
I'm sure it'll fluctuate pretty greatly.
Maybe if you really rush it, I'm sure.
Dishonored
Really,
2,
it
I think,
depends.
took me like 18. I think a lot of people finished it in like 13.
Okay.
But that depends on your play style.
Right.
And I'm assuming I mentioned this, but for those wondering, like it's Arcane Studios who also did Dishonored, and that's why we're drawing all those comparisons. But yeah, this releases on PS4, Xbox One, and PC Friday. So we will, like Pete said, have a review in progress up as soon as possible for more thoughts on that from tomorrow in the UK. And I'm looking forward to it. I know we're all curious, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Cool. So that's Prey. There was one more part that Goob had in his question. He wanted, if you have been watching the lobby for a while, when we were talking about Watch Dogs 2 once, I said it was like Bedazzled, and people laughed until we rolled the footage and realized it's actually pretty similar. But he asked me how Prey compares to Bedazzled, and he in the chat wanted me to say that out loud. But I didn't think it was relevant, but...
When is Bedazzled not relevant?
Bedazzled is always applicable. You should go watch that if you have never seen it.
I watch it every day before I come to work.
It's a gem. Elizabeth Hurley is great in it. Brendan Fraser's just as weird as ever. It's no Friends, but all right, cool.
Anyway.